Arsenal Fan TV. Mo, very disappointing first half, but the second half picked it up and fantastic win in the end in the context of things when you look at all the other results that have happened today.
Yeah, definitely. It was very, very important to win. And also, you know, leaving here today, I just kind of, I hadn't had this feeling in ages. It feels like absolutely ages since we last won a game in the Premier League. And as you say, looking at the wider context as well, so crucial that we won today with City dropping points. And the players would have known the result. There would have been that added pressure. First half, you know, I was thinking, oh, for God's sake, it didn't look like we were going to capitalise. But second half we've come out and we showed our quality in the end. But you have to give a few special mentions to a few players today. Laurent Koscielny in the first half, especially. I mean, all game was brilliant, but in the first half, if it wasn't for him and his composure and his defensive leadership, we could have seen ourselves in a more sticky situation. And Mesut Ozil, look, I said again in the last game against Zagreb, when so many people didn't turn up, I said that, you know, this is an absolute grand artist of this game, who comes onto this pitch and paints his like majestic ability on our canvas. I don't know how to like compare it to convince people to actually sit in your seats and watch him. You know, there's Beethoven and Vivaldi and there's Picasso and there's all these great artists that we've
Public Enemy.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, you know, all of that. No, look, there's all these great artists that we've seen over centuries and centuries, and in 1,000 years' time, they'll talk about Beethoven and Vivaldi and Picasso, Da Vinci and Mesut Ozil. He's that good, I'm telling you. Today was literally a work of art by him. He's just silk, absolute silk on the ball, and an absolute pleasure to watch. And the reason you pay, you know, to come and watch Arsenal play is for quality like that. And it's just a delight to watch him today, an absolute delight. Aside from him as well, Monreal, absolutely solid. I think Bellerin's going through a bit of a dodgy patch, but I'm cool with that. He's so young, it's obviously going to happen. But there were a few players that really performed well for us today. But on Mesut Ozil, I just want to say, look, you know, he's played around 60 games for Arsenal now. And I've said many, many times before, don't judge players on their first seasons. In his first season, he didn't live up to his price tag, but it's way too early to judge him. So everyone that called him out as a flop and all the doubters, you know, I don't hear him anymore. They've you know,
what
gone
about
back
Joel
into their
Campbell?
holes.
I mean, you was a bit.
I haven't finished about
You was
Ozil
a bit
yet.
harsh on it. Hold on, no,
Ozil.
we've heard it with Ozil. Great, right? Now, me and you was having this little thing last week. Joel Campbell again today, a goal again. I also thought he was one of the outstanding players on the pitch today for Arsenal. When in that first half, when a lot of players weren't working, he was working very hard. He was trying to close down. I thought it was a very good performance by him today.
Yeah, I mean, I've never criticised Joel Campbell. I think he's a decent player. He's not always had great games.
Cameraman there, he's my witness.
You're going to have to pull out the link. Look, for me, Joel Campbell...
Get that link, yeah?
Yeah? I don't... You know, Joel Campbell, obviously, he's not world-class. He's not Alexis Sanchez level, but he's young. He's definitely done a decent job in the team. There's been a few games where he hasn't, but that's kind of expected. And I'd be very surprised if you can find a link to prove me wrong on this, because I'm very forgiving. Like, you know, Aaron Ramsey, when he was going through his rough patch, I was one of the ones saying that give him time. He needs to get used to it.
And on him again,
on
him, it's good to see him score again today.
Definitely, yeah. You know, Aaron Ramsey, I was talking to someone earlier, and I was saying that when Aaron Ramsey is playing to his absolute potential, his top level exceeds that of most other professional footballers. When he is absolutely on his form, he's one of the best players in the world. He's that good. And I know it sounds ridiculous and a bit sensationalist, but the catch is that he doesn't often stay there for that long.
He done a turn today in that game, right?
Oh yeah, in the second half, down in that bottom right corner. It was unreal. Absolutely sublime. Ramsey's got amazing quality, and if we can harness that out of him this season and get him playing how he was a couple of years ago, remember, where every single game it was making people look silly and scoring goals, if we can get him to that level, that's the sort of player that can actually help us push on.
We need him to do that now, because, you know, Cazorla's out now for 4 months. Ramsey's in his position. He's going to have to produce that.
Yeah, for sure.
And one thing about him, he does bring goals, more goals than Cazorla.
Exactly. You know, Ramsey really is box to box and makes such a massive impact on games. So if we can get that out of him, then we've got a very good chance this year. And look, let's talk about Arsenal winning the league this year, whether it's possible or not. I'm really, really looking forward to what may come in May. You know, we have got a really, really good chance. There's no team that's really saying, you know, let's stamp our authority and run away with this league right now. And as long as Arsenal are winning games and we're in contention. There's no reason why we can't do it. I'm so hopeful for this year. I'm praying that in January we do what we need to do with all of this money sitting in the bank. We need to add to our squad, and we've got a cracking chance of winning the league this year. You just imagine how it will feel if we get crowned Premier League champions and that trophy's got red and white ribbons on it. Look, I need to stop dreaming. I'm going to get carried away. But look, next stop, Olympiacos.
Yep.
And
I know you're going out there.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm heading out there tomorrow, making a holiday out of it. I took my wife to West Brom away in the freezing cold, so she also gets to go to Athens away. But look, I'm hoping we don't make a Grexit out there and we go and do the business, because we need to be in the Champions League, financially, to attract the best players, to win that one trophy that we've never won and are desperate to win, to be the first London club to win that trophy. And I say that and I know what I'm talking about. Because other London clubs haven't won that trophy. You know it, I know it, you might have purchased it, but we want to win it. And in fact, even on the Premier League, when was the last time the Premier League was actually won? In the truest sense of the word, actually won. I want to be that team to go and win the Premier League, because it's been bought quite a few times in recent seasons. It's all about Arsenal going and achieving these things in the right way, playing it the Arsenal way, doing things the right way, winning it in a self-sustainable model. That's what makes us so proud of this club, and hopefully we can go and achieve all of our objectives this year. Now, just onto Athens, and hopefully we'll have a cracking time out there. I'll see you out there. This again.
Where are you flying into?
Where else? But no,
Probably knowing him, he's probably going via Spain or something. Right.
But yeah, fingers crossed, man. Looking forward to it.
Nice one. Don't forget, for Christmas, you can get hoodies just like this at AFTVstore.com.